is going on, guys, and welcome back. First video of the new year here. We're going to start it off with something we haven't done in a long time, small engines. So we're going to start with this Husqvarna 440 chainsaw. So this is a 49cc two-stroke. It sat for a while. It's according to the tag right here, and you can always tell the year model on the tags. They're right up here by the muffler up front. This is 2016, and this one has sat for about a year or two. And when they tried to start it, it wouldn't start. So we're gonna dig into it and figure out what's going on. One of the first things I like to try to do when I have these, or anything like that, when they say it doesn't run, I'll try to start it and just see if it starts with new gas and everything else. So I've already emptied the old gas out of here. What we're gonna do is try to put some new fuel in here. We're gonna use, this is steel fuel, but it doesn't really matter. It's 50 to 1. No ethanol, 93 octane. All right, we're not going to put a whole lot because that should do it. If it's going to start, it should start. Let's try to prime it first. And that is the first thing. It's not pulling any fuel, it doesn't seem like, to the primer bowl. So, pretty sure this is not going to start, but we're going to take it outside. Nope, just what I thought. All right, so this thing didn't even try to kick over, which means it's either not getting fuel or not getting spark. 99% of the time on these, it seems like it's a fuel issue. The ignition systems on these seem to be pretty strong. And the reason I'm fairly confident that it's fuel is because we weren't drawing any fuel through the primer. So maybe that's all it needs, is just the new primer, or maybe it came unhooked or something like that. So let's go ahead and get this cover off and see what's going on. This just comes off with these little clips. Very easy, just like that. There we go. Alright, so that took a little while, but we finally got it off. Sometimes you just gotta jiggle the housing that the primer bulb goes into. That also houses the choke and the shutoff lever. Something else to check on these is there is a spark arrestor right here that goes over the exhaust, and what that will do sometimes is that will get clogged up. So if your chainsaw, or not even chainsaw, I mean it could be a weed eater or whatever, if it runs, if it starts but it bogs when you try to rev it up, it's very possible that this is clogged, and that's why it's not revving, which can be mistaken a lot of times for a fuel issue when it's not. And see, there's no, this chainsaw hasn't been used much at all. There's hardly any debris on there at all. There's nothing even to clean off. Normally I would just spray it with brake clean, take a wire brush and go after it like that, but there's nothing even to clean on this. This is really good. Alrighty, now we have our carburetor in. That was really fast. So we're gonna go ahead. What we're gonna do before we put this on though and see if it works, we're gonna pull the spark plug. Since we're this far, we're gonna take it out and at least give it a little clean if it needs it. Not terrible, but we're going to go ahead and clean it up just a little bit and put it back in. Now, ordinarily, if you have one, I would recommend to go ahead and changing it, but this is all we have right now. So we're going to clean it off, then we're going to throw it back on here and just make sure we have spark first. All we're going to do is touch that to metal, and I'm going to try to position it where you can see, but I'm not sure that that's going to work. Yep. Yep, we have a good strong spark. And I was fairly certain of that anyway, just because these tend to, you know, for one reason or another, the ignition systems are pretty strong. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our kit here that we got with our new carburetor. All right, so we got gaskets. Oh, and we got the tools to tune the carburetor with. That's cool. And all this, by the way, was like $20. Fuel line, more fuel line. A new primer. That's cool. A new fuel filter, a new spark plug. This, let's see. This is probably a very cheap spark plug. Yeah, it looks like it. WX, not familiar with that brand. But, I mean, in a pinch, I'm sure it'd work. That's just not my favorite. I would use either Champion or NGK. Those are my favorites, but like I said, if you ordered this kit and you need a spark plug, this will probably work just fine. All right, and here's the carburetor. If we get these side by side here, we'll see that they're pretty much identical here. So what we'll do is get this linkage from the throttle, transfer it over to the new carburetor, and then we're going to put this on. First, we're going to put our fuel filter on first. Basically, you just pull and twist like that, and it'll come out. Put it in this same exact way. Just push and twist it, just like that. Now you have your working throttle linkage. Only other thing we need is this fuel hose. I always want to inspect it real close since we're not replacing these, just to make sure that everything looks good. Which it does. All right, what I want to do before I get this on, I want to hook up all the fuel system to the primer to make sure we're pulling fuel, because that was our whole problem last time. All right, and we're pulling fuel. Cool. All right, so we got to put this plate back on that goes up against the intake here. And that pretty much locates the carburetor. So basically hook everything up in reverse, your wires right here. So you put your 3 bolts back in, and if you don't have some of these long Allen extension things, they'll save your life, because there's no way you'd get in here with just a regular old Allen. I mean, I guess you can, but it's hard to do. Now we just put our choke lever back on. Just like that. And that is priming like it should. All right. See if it'll fire up. It runs. One thing I forgot to do, which is why the throttle wasn't working, I forgot to hook the throttle back up. That might help just a tiny bit. Alright, so I didn't get to finish up on camera yesterday, but what I did is I adjusted the high-speed needle, because whenever we were pulling the trigger, it was bogging down with this new carburetor. So you know, all new carburetors you're probably going to have to go to the factory settings, which on both needles usually is about 1.25 turns out. So 1 turn and then another 1/4 of a turn to the left. So let's go ahead and start this thing up today and see how it runs just right off the bat. All right, this thing is ready to go. Just goes to show, instead of throwing the chainsaw away or spending, you know, $400 or $500 on one, just like this one, the 440. So yeah, just a $20 carburetor will do it in most cases. The other ones get gummed up, and sometimes they're hard to get thoroughly clean. A brand new one sometimes is the best bet. It went from where you weren't even able to prime it or start it to where now just it starts up the second, third pull, and it has great throttle response, great power. I mean, yeah, it's good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little something if you have a chainsaw like this or similar. You know, and this isn't just for the 440. You know, this pertains to a lot of Husqvarna chainsaws that are this same size, and chainsaws all across the board, really. Alright, y'all, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like button if you liked it, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.